The art of just fucking winging it. Action! Thick boy in presence!
Here we are.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a big thick boy in our presence. He definitely doesn't like Warframe. He's definitely not a shrill for... I keep saying shrill. It's chill.
I knew the guys would love it, so...
Oh, guys, we have some loser in the background, actually. Come on, Ralph.
I'm the producer.
Sam
Ralph's producing today.
Ralph's now taking an executive role.
Yes. Sadly, we couldn't get rid of him yet, but he is on his way out. He's on his way out, and speaking
What a segue.
Speaking of way out, we're going to talk about a lovely game that's been released by EA.
We're going to talk about the success that game has found itself.
That game is called A Way Out. Right, so ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and we just want to firstly address the fact that people in the previous video with Alec was, they felt a bit violated. They felt like he was looking into their soul.
Hiya, Georgie. What a nice boat.
EA are not necessarily known for providing the best treatment to their small studios.
It's not true. It's bullshit.
However, Hazelight have found themselves in a position of selling their 1 millionth copy of A Way Out. So, to put that number in perspective, Battlefront sold 7 million. So we're looking at 1/7. 1/7 of 7 million is a big number.
Especially for a studio, I think that's pretty damn small.
This is quite an obscure game, and it really bucks the trend of, I guess, EA's core business model. I mean...
There's no microtransactions
No
in this
microtransactions.
It's very pro-consumer, I think.
It's not... I mean, what is it? It's like half the price of a normal game.
$40 Australian.
At least here in Australia.
Like 25 US or something?
Yep. The biggest thing is that you can essentially play this game with 2 people owning 1 copy.
Yes.
So, in the era of EA monetizing absolutely everything they can, they did something different here, and it's paid dividends.
100%. Well, I mean, I think it's paid dividends. I don't think it'll pay dividends. Well, look, 1 million copies is 1 million copies. Let's just start there. But
That's a lot of money, man.
I have to say, number one, they're selling it for half the amount that they would usually be making on a game. Number two, it's more of a PR thing, I think. It's like, we just need to get back on the saddle of people liking EA. Now, I don't think that's going to happen for at least 10 years, but like, we're slowly getting there.
And we got a lot of feedback. A lot of it positive.
EA has been named the worst company in America.
And a bunch of it constructive.
This is literally the second year in a row that Electronic Arts has been voted the worst company in America.
With a game as big as Battlefront 2, a license as powerful as Star Wars, a development house as large and as sort of powerful as DICE, 7 million is a big number, but for something like this, quite obscure, quite bold, and essentially a 2-for-1 deal, to still sell 1 million copies
Is massive.
Momentous, huge.
And I think it's like, it's not only like it's big, but it's also good for Joseph Fares, because Fares, of course, because, you know, it just shows that his cowboy attitude kind of thing totally paid off. Like, I think a lot of people, like, they lined up for that dude. Like, when I saw what he did at the Game Awards, what I've seen what he said about, you know, EA.
Look, the Oscars should fuck themselves up. This is the shit. Fuck the Oscars, you know? Fuck the Oscars! Fuck you! It doesn't have anything with the EA shit going on, with the loot box and stuff. It's nice to hate EA, blah, blah. All publishers fuck up sometimes, you know?
He is the one.
Everyone was just so in love with that dude. Like, when this game came out, like, part of the branding and part of the PR and part of the marketing was pretty much that guy. And I think a lot of people would have lined up going, I'm here for that dude. I want to play this game and I want to support that.
That game sold copies because of his Games Awards
100%.
Appearance.
100%.
100%.
100%.
So, what lessons have been learned?
What lessons have been learned,
Do we
ladies and gentlemen?
think, however, EA will learn anything from this?
I think I mean, look, I don't think they've learnt anything from this more than they've learnt from... I think what they've really learnt from is the Star Wars Battlefront 2 saga.
Yeah.
This is something that was already in the works. I think that they changed a lot of what they were going to bring out because of the Star Wars thing. 100%. Maybe they changed the 2-for-1 thing because their PR was in such disarray.
Let's get him, fellas.
Do I think that they also charged less because of Star Wars? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it was already part of the business plan. Do I think that it's going to, you know, happen again? I hope so. I hope they bring out another game that's like, hey, it's cheaper again. It all goes back to the developer, and it's all about brand power and PR. I hope they do that. And these are the figures that I think they needed to see for them to be like, okay, this is totally worth doing again.
Because I think, look, I'm maybe a little bit more pessimistic because I think that EA are often more reactive than proactive.
I think, but most businesses are.
And I think that well, of course, but I think that what's happened with Star Wars because they're completely overhauling the economy of that game.
Oh yeah, of course.
Take that with a grain of salt. It could be a goodwill gesture, or it could be maybe a sign of.
Oh no, it was 100% because they knew that they were going down a route that, you know, not only was the game not selling anymore, because they expected Star Wars Battlefront 2 to sell 10 million copies. It sold about 7 million copies. Now I don't know if that's like totally encompassing digital sales and X, Y, and Z, but I know that they didn't hit the mark.
I think that's total shipped.
Okay, total ship.
Yeah.
So they didn't hit the mark. So they're like, okay, well, we've lost sales here. People aren't talking well about us. People don't really want to play the game as much as they would have liked to because they know now it's such a, you know, a money economy in terms of how I actually compete. I think it's because they just knew that they had to do that. It wasn't like they were like, oh, let's be good guys. They were like, we're not going to be selling this game. We're not going to be making money off this game. And if Star Wars Battlefront 3 comes out, dude, I don't think we're going to see anything like this. I really don't.
We hope that EA will learn a valuable lesson from the success of this game. A little game.
I hope that they do. I don't think we'll see any real changes until we see some AAA games coming out. And if we see any changes in those games, then I can say yes, they have.
I agree. I think we'll see over the next, 12 to 18 months, as EA release their sort of flagship titles, the way that they monetize that going forward will be the indicator. But hopefully this might give them a little reason to shake things up.
It. So we will let you know, guys. And until then, see you, fam.
So, do we think that Star Wars might just So, we hope
It's not true. It's bullshit.